Hello there everyone, my name is Orca and welcome to Sylestia. So this is a game I've been playing for a few years now, and I decided, I'm going to make a few videos on it since there's not really much of a up-to-date tutorial guide on this. And yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Sylestia is a free-to-play pet browser game like Neopets and Flight Rising. It's pretty similar to that, but there are some differences which I will point out. Also, I should mention that this guide is not official. I am just another player who happens to have more confidence in my ability to explain things and whatnot. So yeah, anyways, as with most pet games, you will want to create a new account if you decide to join. You just have to fill out all this information, all the usual stuff. There is a referral code area, and I do have a referral code in my description that you can use if you would like. But that's just, it's not mandatory that you have to have a referral code. I'm just saying that I have one now, because why not? Yeah, so you can only have one account per person, and I have an account, so I'll just log in. Yeah, so once you log in, you get that screen, and one of the first things that you'll do upon joining is you will be taken to the generator, and this is where you can make your own pets. The first pet that you make can be any of, I believe it's, there's a certain amount of species that you can have as a starter pet, and you won't need an essence for those, but after your first pet, you will need an essence, and you can do whatever you want with your pet, your first pet. So you get 4 trait points, and I'll quickly explain this because it's a bit confusing. So I have a few essences here, and it would be, I think, the enhanced. Do I have an enhanced? Because I don't, but I'll just use a regular for now. So the essences, these are basically just how most people will get pets after they'll start your pet. So you have a selection of many different species. Not sure if you can see this list. Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can. But if you can, there is a list of 22 species in Sylestia, and most of them you can use as a starter pet. And you can change all the color hexes, give it genes and mutations. Your only limitation is that you can't go over the trait point count here. So if I did M3, I just chose some random stuff. So bone jewelry, that's already 2 trait points. You will get 4 trait points in total to use. And so yeah, visible traits cost 2 trait points, and hidden traits cost 1 trait point. So yeah, and that's just basically how that stuff works. Once you are done with all that, you can select colors. So like eye color, let's do something more noticeable. C1, that's just the main body color, and you can play around with all this stuff once you gain access to the generator. So let's just go with that, and yep, there we go. You can see that part of my Naticuli has turned blue, and that's just an example of how the color works on Sylestias. So once you decide what your pet is going to look like, and you can preview all that stuff up here, you can also click on the photos and get a larger version of your design. You can come down here to the generate pet button, click generate pet, and your pet will appear as an egg in your hatchery. And originally it will look like this. It won't be white unless your main body color is white. And here we have the hatchery which is where most generated pets go. I do not have any eggs at the moment or hatchlings, but I do have some adolescents that are just hanging out in here. And if I go to the stables, you can just see what the stables look like. This is the stables. You will start with only one tab in one stables, but you can buy more as you progress through the game. Moving on, we have the wardrobe, and that is found under account. The wardrobe is where you can customize your video. As you can see, I have decked myself out for the summer festival, which just ended. We have 2 different body poses for videos, and then we have a lot of customization and different things you can collect. All of these things I have in outfit items I collected during my time playing on Sylestia. I will say that I was mainly trying to get a video item, so for most people this is way more available items than they'll have in their wardrobe. So yeah, I'm just an exception in that regard. Other than that, it's all pretty normal base styles. There's a lot to choose from. You can buy some as well using in-game currency, and you can get everything in this game using in-game currency. You do not have to pay in real life money to access anything. The only in-game currency I can think of that you would want to spend real life money on is maybe diamonds, but you can get by without them if you participate in events. So once you finish generating your starter Sylestia, you'll be taken to the Viridian Meadows. Well, technically you'll be taken to this world screen, and you can go to explore and then world map to find it. And you also get an info box with instructions on where to go. The Viridian Meadows is the first place you'll be starting in. There is a dungeon here called Nightfall Bandit Dungeon. So yeah, that's a fun way to just kill off some time. It's also a place you have to visit during the Easter festival. But anyways, that's very unrelated. Let me just show you the Trolls Right Cave runes a little. So yeah, I have already completed the storyline for this area, so there will not be much of a spoilers. You can see the 3 pets in your party. Over to the left, you have your available gold, AP, scales, and diamonds, which are the 4 currencies in Sylestia. And then you have your inventory, which is where traps are. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is for that main screen. Now, the first 2 regions are both like the Trolls Right Cave runes. Umber Forest is pretty much the same thing. When you get to the Aleph Spire, I do recommend looking at one of the guides in the forum section, which I will talk about in a bit, because the Aleph Mirror puzzle will definitely confuse you. It is one of those places where everyone seems to get stuck unless you're really, really lucky. And yeah, I would recommend using the guide once you get up to there. Other than that, you should be fine progressing through the first 2 zones. When you get to the dirt zone, things change a little. So this zone was made in a slightly different fashion, and if we go into Sweet Blossom Orchard, I can show you guys what I mean by that. So as you can see, things look a bit different, and for one thing, we have an interactive map and slightly different ways of battling and moving around. This is the format that most of the later region and the festival maps use. It's all interactive. there are chests that you can collect loot from. Most of it is going to be gold. There are no traps in these chests, unlike the ones that you might find in the second region. There are also different missions that you can do, as well as a just nicer battling system. Oh, okay, it is tonight. Now the last place we will go to on our tour of Sylestia is the forums, and that is here in the forums. And so yeah, the forums are basically where you can go to chat with other players. I do recommend going to player interactions and then making a thread, which you can do on new thread, and then just type a subject like hi or hello, and then you can ignore the ping users box for now and then enter your message. Sylestia is a very welcoming community in general, so yeah, definitely swing by and say hi. Me and the other players are always happy to stop in, and sometimes we bring a little gift, sometimes we just say welcome to Sylestia. Either way, this is a great place to go and just meet other players. And if you have any questions, you can go to Q&A. No question is too dumb to ask. We have a lot of people who check in on this forum quite frequently, and you will usually receive a reply at some point. Usually in 24 hours, I would say, unless you have one of those very vague questions that no one can answer. But I haven't seen one of those in a while, so I would say you would be pretty safe asking most questions in here. And of course, you can probably see up here we have pings, so I'll just quickly explain what those are. Pings are how people can reply to you. So as you can see here, I have 3 pings from, well, one person and then myself, because that is a thing you can do. At some point I will release a guide on the forums, but for now I will link a player guide that explains how to use the forums in the description below. You can also check your pings by going up here, so just to show you what I mean by that, if we go into real, just so that the screen changes noticeably, we can click on the blue @ sign and it will take us straight to the forum page. Also, I would definitely check news and announcements as soon as you can, because the news and announcement forum is where the admins will post things like updates. So as you can see up here, we have 4 major announcements and then 2 very major announcements. And as I said before, Summer Festival is coming to a close, so those are up there for now. And we also have a Fedora revamp. The Fedora is a deal Sylestia basically. We also have some notes about social media and also some weekly maintenance stuff that is happening. So yeah, that's basically the forums, and we have quite a wide variety of forums here, and for the most part, most of them are pretty active. So yeah, feel free to stop by, say hi, join a few things. Pretty much everything here is player 1, except for the official stuff, that's the admins, but everything else in here is pretty much all by the players. And yeah, that's pretty much all of the basic stuff about Sylestia. Of course, there are some other things. For example, the trade area, we have some games, like the official games, not like player 1 games, some shops and stuff, but I can always cover that in another video if I need to. And honestly, it's always a little bit fun to explore things yourself. So yeah, this has been Orca. if you enjoyed this guide, feel free to subscribe. I make tutorials on Sylestia and also of other games, but I have been doing quite a bit of Sylestia lately. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. You can go to this scroll icon or go to social and inbox and then go to compose and then type my name in the box that pops up and I will answer your questions. I am also happy to answer your questions in the comments below. And yeah, anyways, thanks for watching and see you later. Bye!